Now, I will go into this article first I want to tell you, I discussed this with my father confessor, and he told me that the evil one would not do this to us. The evil one would want us from our own volition, from our own free will to follow him. Project Bluebeam, the technology for mass holographic deception and psychological manipulation, has existed for years. This is by HAF on Humans Are Free. Imagine if governments could project massive, realistic holograms into the sky above entire societies, such as the image of a deity significant to a region. Imagine the implications if such a vision started speaking, the words appearing telepathically as thoughts directly inside people's heads. Disturbingly, this scenario may not be science fiction, as the technology for mass deception and psychological manipulation on a major scale has existed for decades. This is astonishing. I mean, how would you be able to keep this out of your head? This is just tragic. Now, straight sites like giant floating cities have been reported in the past few years, seen and even filmed by witnesses in different countries. As recently as October 2015, the UK Express reported floating cities had been seen in China. They've even been seen off Brighton of the UK. Now, first over Foshan in Guangdong province, and a few days later over the province of Jiangxi in China. And a similar phantom city seen over China in 2011. In May 2015, villagers in Dulali in Danzai South Ward in Africa, local government of Bauchi State, Nigeria also witnessed a floating city over their village on multiple occasions, replete with cars as well, and emanating mechanical noises, a sight they attributed to Allah. And they even heard the noises of cars and mechanical noises. So these types of sightings have focused attention on the theories that governments may possess a technology to project giant holograms which could be used for wide-scale deception, which might now be undergoing testing on unsuspected citizens to gauge their reactions. This type of capability is sometimes referred to by some theorists as Project Bluebeam, while visions of floating cities are explained away by skeptics and authorities as natural meteorological phenomena, and suggestions of holographic projection dismissed as conspiracy theories. Would it even be technically possible to project a huge holographic image like that? And would a government even wish to do so? According to research compiled by Truststream Media and presented in the video and in the article here, according to them, there is compelling evidence that since at least the early 1990s, the U.S. military has been exploring the possibility of creating gigantic holograms that could be used for large-scale deception missions by special operations forces. They explained that these efforts were reported by the Washington Post in February 1999, who revealed that the U.S. government was considering projecting a depiction of Allah over Baghdad as part of a military action to destabilize Saddam's regime in the first Gulf War. The Washington Post also reported that a secret program was established in 1994 to pursue holographic technology for psychological operations, Psyops applications, and that project, quote, large three-dimensional objects that appeared to float in the air, unquote, was found to be feasible by a military physicist. Truthstream Media also point out that over 20 years ago, military research had already developed software able to replicate anyone's voice using only a 10-minute sample of speech. They explained that around the same time, patents had been established concerning voice-to-skull, V2K, voice-to-skull technology. V2K is a technology based on the microwave auditory effect that uses microwaves to create wireless, receiverless speech communication sent directly into people's heads. Can you imagine? They're playing with our minds and our heads and our souls now. This is ridiculous. While not widely known by most people, It's a fact that governments engage in wide-scale psychological operations, psyops, to influence the behavior, emotions, and objective reasonings of their targets. Given the propensity of governments to deliberately manipulate and influence their citizens' behaviors, could they ever be trusted to wield technology, giving them the power to project gigantic holograms and to implant thoughts directly into people's heads? Or would the temptation be too strong to use it on the unwitting masses as a form of social and psychological control? In a subtle form, this technology could be used to manipulate public perception. For instance, a military page on voice-to-skull technology stated, before it was removed, but not before it was archived around the web, that sound modulation employed in V2K technology could be used to implant subliminal messages. And if you want to learn more about the voice-to-skull technology, you can read article Targeted Individuals Expose Shocking Electronic Harassment and more. Now, some have suggested that holographic technology could be used to instigate a one-world religion authority, or could be the basis on which a false flag alien invasion could be staged as a means to justify implementation of a sinister global military space weapons program and give rise to new world order and global government. A plot to stage a faked alien attack was reportedly first warned about by German scientist Wernher von Braun. He was the director of NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center and credited by NASA as the greatest rocket scientist in history. This was back in the 1970s when he said that there would be a faked alien invasion attack. Now, this is what Wernher von Braun warned us about. The fact that this type of technology exists highlights the importance of becoming informed about how easily people's psychological responses can be manipulated and conditioned by those in position of power. As the old saying goes, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. Now, by understanding methods of psychological influence and how such technologies could be used in their dissemination, immunity to manipulation is developed. Thoughts, decisions, and actions can then be firmly grounded in reality and personal choice, no matter what is seen in the sky or projected upon us. This is from Conscious Reporter, and it's on Humans Are Free, Creative Commons. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.